What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down Laviska Shenault. I hope I'm saying that right, in his route running ability. This video is done by request, guys, so if you got any more requests that you'd like to see me do, please leave those in the comments. And guys, if you'd like me to break down your route running, check out that link in the description that says Film Breakdowns. Hope we get you signed up on my website where you get access to a private email address where you could send in your film and I'd break it down just like this. Let's get started with this video. So we're going to be looking at him here at the bottom of your screen. He's going to be running this corner route on this corner who's kind of in this almost catch technique. He's about 2 to 3 yards off. We got to close the gap with him, get him leaning to the inside, then take this outside release. Okay, so let's watch at full speed. We're looking at the bottom of your screen right here. So he comes off 1-2, gets him leaning inside, physical. Don't be afraid to be physical, and then accelerate off this thing, right? He's a bigger receiver, I would say. Good size, good NFL size, so we can't be afraid to be physical. Anytime we're a bigger guy, we got to always be not afraid to use my hands, not afraid to get in this DB's face. Just always being able to work, always being able to have my hands active, right? Having a plan. So off the line of scrimmage here, he's just going to go 2 hard steps. So the main thing I want to talk about too is his stance, right? So for you bigger guys, I got to get off the ball fast, right? So any receiver, I got to get off the ball fast, right? So the stance that I want to be in is like 70 or 80% on that front leg. So I could just accelerate out and drive off of this front leg. What a lot of people do, well, here's the other thing, too. You see, guys, the stance is tricky because you see a guy like Jerry Rice, right? He's standing directly up, right? He's super relaxed, hands super relaxed. He's in a very relaxed position, but, you know, he's one of the all-time greats, right? When you look at a lot of receivers, they want to have a little bit more weight on this front leg so we could actually shoot and drive out forward, but I got to make sure I drive this back leg, don't have any false steps, and I push directly off this front leg, okay? So when he comes off the line here, you see how he goes 1, 2 here. He takes 2 hard steps to the inside. Now, his DB's already got his hips turned a little bit, probably because he's got safety help over the top, right? Why not play outside? Why not let him maybe take an inside release? I got safety help over the top. It's not a huge threat, but we want to get his hips and we want to get him leaning to the inside like he does, right? Now, this is a very bad position for him to be in because you see, if he's leaning to the outside, now he's trying to get hands to recover, and if we get hands off of him like we do, his hips are going to lock, and his feet are going to stay flat in the ground, and we're going to be able to get a ton of separation, right? So we come off here, and we get hands, and you see how his hips lock, right? And he's got no recovery off of that thing. That's how we get an outside release. Now, his job here with his hands, trying to get us to run into him, working this catch technique, is just to screw up the timing, right? His whole goal is I want to disrupt the timing of this route with the quarterback, with his play action fake, so this quarterback has to hold the ball a little bit longer so my pass rush can get to him and get a sack. When you break it down as simple as it can be, that's his goal right there, right? But if we can come off the line fast and we come off the line hard and get hands, be physical, and get up into the route, I don't screw up the timing at all. And I know you can't see him in the top of the screen here, but you look at the space he's able to get even from this safety coming over the top, simply because he was fast off the line, used his hands, was physical, and then accelerated up into this route with great timing. Let's watch this thing again one more time. Bottom of the screen here, 1-2, get him leaning inside, get the hands off, get his hips to lock, and then accelerate upfield. That's a great route here by Laviska Shenault. Okay, so now, what we're going to be talking about here is this out route. We're going to talk about one thing I think he could do a little bit better, how it's kind of tough because the ball might be not out as early. If the ball's out early, I think we could I don't mean to knock the quarterback or anything because this is a very, very tough throw, and it is a good ball, don't get me wrong. Just one thing he could have done a little bit better. So this is in slow motion here. So he gets out of the break. He goes 1, 2, 3, and he's out of this thing. So what we need here is we got to be able to generate some force with my hips and drive off this outside leg and really run, okay? So you see when he's coming off here, he drops his hips, but the thing that I don't like about this is that his hands drop. You know what I mean? His hands are dropping super low. His hips are in a good position, but when we get to this position, guys, and we make this snap down break here, right? Because he's kind of coming off this thing in 3 steps rather than just a quick speed cut, right? Feel a little bit 2 more extra steps at the top of the route. We could run this out route many different ways. We could come off it and work like this rocker step. We could work just a sudden stick off of there. We could work a no indicator route and just get out of this thing. Or we can kind of take this thing 1, 2, 3 for us bigger guys. This is probably an easier way to run this route, getting out of it in 3 steps, but also it has a little bit to do with the timing of the play, right? Maybe it could take a little bit longer at the top of the route. It's how they teach them to run their routes. But you see how he comes off here, snaps down right here, 2, and that second step is what's pivoting his hips. And then 3, that third step is what's driving him out. And you see he has no extra steps here because that last third step, as you can see, is what's driving him back out on this 90-degree angle. Now, the thing about this is the ball's a little bit late. You see how this ball's leaving his hands, the quarterback's hands, as he's seeing it, right? So he's seeing him throw the ball. On a speed out like this thing should be out before he even sees it. But you see how he's coming up here and his arms kind of stop him and this ball's thrown out there. We could get there a little bit faster and the quarterback could throw this thing a lot earlier if when I drop down, I'm just running my hands. My hands are always running and I'm driving and I'm running off of this break and accelerating out of this break to get to the ball. So that's what we got to be able to do as a receiver. We always got to have my hands running. I got to be able to run in and then run out of this break. That's the key to being fast out of the break. I get this question a lot. How can I get out of my breaks faster, right? If you drop your hips like we're doing right here, but I don't pump my arms and I don't drive off of that third step here, I'm not going to be able to get any speed. I'm not going to get out of the break fast. So I got to make sure even when I drop my hips, even when my feet are powerful, if my hands stop me, I'm going to get stuck right here. I got to make sure I'm pumping my arms and I'm running off of this thing. But overall, pretty good route, pretty good catch, pretty good throw. I'm all right with it. Just that's one thing he could have done a little bit better. Let's watch it a little bit. Let's watch it again in slow motion here. So coming off, 1, 2, 3, in and out of this thing. Just want to keep those hands moving. Always got to keep those hands moving, okay? So now, this clip here, we don't get to see the full end of the route, but this ends up being incomplete, but it was pass interference. So he drew the pass interference, but we're going to talk about how we can get separation on a fade here with the DB who's off, right? Whether it's off man, whether it's just straight up zone. So let's watch this thing again right here. So more so like an off man look here, and he gives this little bit of a hesitation. You see how he's coming off here? Just kind of slows it down, takes these long strides, and then kicks up into second gear. You can tell by his pad level, right? Comes off good pad level. Now he starts to raise that thing up, starts to raise his chest up. Now, what does that do if you start to slow yourself down, right? I talk about this all the time when you run a curl, when you run a comeback, when you run a dig, any kind of route, guys. When we're getting into this route, first off, we want to be full speed, make this break, right? Then we can worry about changing up the tempo and then going up underneath, right? So same idea on a fade. I come off the line of scrimmage, I'm fast. I got my good pad level coming off. I got my head down. I start to bring my chest up and I start to raise up because what's that's going to do? That's an indicator to him that a break might be happening, right? There's an indicator, and now what we're going to do is we're going to be able to go from 0, slow myself down, to 100. Fast. Just explode and accelerate up, get him to slow down, get him to stop his feet, and then I accelerate out, get those hands off of me, and now I'm in a position to make this catch. If this ball's out on time, throwing a good ball over the top, it's a great play. That's how we can get separation, guys. Now, even let's say it was zone where he's bailing, eyes are in the backfield, right? I could still slow myself down, maybe try to get in this blind spot, then kick up into second gear. Just have him feel this speed change so he can sit on that break. Maybe we get his feet to stop, maybe we get his back pedal to slow down, and then I kick up into second gear, okay? So let's watch this thing again one more time. So coming off here, little hesitation, kick up into second gear. And it's not taking too long. We're not taking forever on that hesitation. I see a lot of guys who almost slow themselves completely down. It's just a little bit of a hesitation. Pick that chest up, get him to stop his feet, maybe get him to drop his hips a little bit, then kick up into second gear and go, and we get some separation, all right? All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Please leave in the comments, again, any suggestions or any questions you guys have. I'll make sure to get back to you. And if you want to improve your football IQ, you want to get access to our defensive film breakdowns, just like this one, but it's all IQ stuff. So your receivers can be on the same page as the quarterbacks. Check out that link in the description. I'll see you guys next time.